I'm so glad you're here to hear about what level 5 advisory really is all about, and probably what advisory really is all about, because I think there's a lot of chaos and confusion in the marketplace. I've been talking about advisory since early 2000, and I've been implementing it here in the Napa Valley with wineries since 2007, which is hard to believe. And so I'm living it every day, and I've been talking about it and looking for tools and ways for us as accountants to make the profession better and to deliver more value for our clients. And so I'm really passionate about it, and I want you to see what is possible for yourselves. And the methodology that I use is level 5, and it starts out where we are now in our technical orientation and builds on that through successive training modules. It's not a prescriptive deliver this first and then do that first and do that. Rather, it's a way to organize the material so that you can build concepts on top of concepts and get fully all the way through to continuous improvement with your client. So what are the tools that we're talking about as part of this training go forward? But here's what's in the toolkit. First level, technical foundation. Start where that client is. Start where you're comfortable, from financial statements, from the tax returns, from a test, if you're doing that, from whatever level of bookkeeping work you're doing. There is a ton more value we can add at that level. And there's some tools for you to download. There are documents, there are PowerPoints, there's educational material you can use to train and educate your clients about what financial statements are and what these number things really mean. And so you start there and you move to level 2 when you get training. And this is about interactive dialogue with clients. It's about educational materials that you can share. She gives you all kinds of interesting ways to explain things like accrual versus cash. There's a profit equation concept, which changes the way we think about businesses. There's a spreadsheet that goes along with that helps you bring numbers to life for the line workers in those client organizations. There's tools about how to get data, and then there's a whole list of potential metrics and measures related to different financial concepts. And then in level 3, it's about discovering what's really going on across that business, not just the financial problem, but what's happening in the customers with operations people and everything else that's happening in the business. It's about really uncovering the root problems of the company, the goals and objectives, and then taking what we discover and turning it into an actionable plan for the teams and the leaders of that organization. And we get to level 4, there are a ton of different ways to help figure out what metrics we need to have in place. And this is where we engage not just owners in designing top level metrics that we then use as punishment, but bringing all the teams together to figure out what things we're trying to accomplish, what we're currently doing, what we might do better, and then what we can count along the way to indicate that we're making progress. This is when we get to leading and lagging indicators, and we talk about all kinds of things that go way beyond financial ratios and measures, which is where most accountants stop. We look for activity input measures that actually influence the outcome we can achieve in those financial metrics. And so it's a shift in the way we count things, and it's a shift in who we involve in the counting and the creation of those measurements. And this is how you make long-term and lasting change for a company. And then level 5 is about doing it consistently with that client, checking back in, evolving the metrics and measures that you create and share with them, ongoing training of the team, and just keeping the cycle flowing so that you can have a long-term impact on that business. So at level 5, we just want to make sure we're checking in, we're evaluating the metrics that we put in place, and making sure that they're still relevant and useful for that client. So the skill set that we teach, it really starts, and this seems so simple, but asking different and better questions is what we teach you. And every document that we have in these materials has all kinds of questions that you can think about. Any one of them can change the dialogue that you have with your client and can position you as an advisor, not a transaction-focused person. And we teach you how to listen better, more deeply, how to understand different types of questions, how to make that client feel like an expert, how to connect with the teams and connect the financial goals down to the activity level. And that's a huge, I think, eye-opening way to look at the work that we do. And so as we do this, as we make this leap from this commodity focus, competing over price, to value, where we're actually changing lives, we not only help the client move the needle forward in the direction of their dreams, but we move your needle forward in the direction of your dreams. If you